intentional. I release shame and its hold on me. I practice gratitude. I honor my body. I am not defined by my mistakes. I give what I desire to receive. I am learning to love myself radically. I receive what is for me. I affirm myself in truth. Order your copy of Daily Affirmations for the Soul at affirmandflowdaily.com. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to HerJourney2Self Podcast. My name is Tamara, and I am your host. I am so excited to be back for another episode. I am nice and cozy today. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, I am sipping on my tea in my Your Testimony is for the World mug. If you haven't picked one up yet, what are you doing? Go to the website and pick one up. And there's also an upgraded version on the website. That one has the logo on both sides. So whether you're left-handed or right-handed, the logo is showing front and center. Unlike mine, I'm right-handed, but I like to hold my mug in my left hand since that's where the logo is. But anyway, shameless plug. But speaking of shame, that is what we are talking about today. What shame takes from you. Shame, go away. Me and her are not friends. Okay, we are not friends. She is like that unexpected visitor that always shows up at the worst time. You know when your house isn't clean and you get a knock on your door and you're like, I was not expecting anybody. You already feel bad because your house is a mess and you know you need to get up and clean. And then here comes shame, knocking, ringing the doorbell. You try not to answer, but she's persistent. And it just adds this top layer of stress and discomfort. That is what shame feels like. So if this is your very first time tuning into the podcast, first of all, welcome. I am so happy that you are here. But last year I wrote a book, Daily Affirmations for the Soul, 30 days of affirmations, reflections, and affirm challenges. So this season on the podcast, we are digging deeper into some of those affirmations. And today's affirmation is, I release shame and its hold on me. Now, honestly, full transparency, this is still a really difficult affirmation for me. It is something that I have to constantly remind myself of when shame starts to rear its ugly head, when it starts to creep in, when it starts knocking on the door. Again, I have to constantly remind myself I am releasing shame and its hold on me. Now, in an earlier episode, we spoke about perfection and how I had this realization one day that perfectionism is really insecurity because it was really based on perceptions and expectations and trying to live up to this false sense of self. And I also know that, at least for me, perfectionism and shame are intricately connected because expectations or perceptions lead to perfectionism. Perfectionism leads to insecurity when I can't live up to these expectations. And then insecurities lead to shame because I feel like I am failing over and over again. And then shame circles right on back to expectations and perception. So it's this constant cycle that you go through. It's exhausting. You feel like you are defeated day in and day out. You just don't know how you can get over this. Shame takes so much from you. so much from you. The first thing that it takes is confidence. And the way that I think about confidence today is totally different from how I viewed confidence growing up. This was another realization that I had a few years ago. And I wrote this explanation in my notes app. And from time to time, I like to look at it. But I wrote, I am learning that confidence is the awareness and acceptance of all of who I am in the different seasons of my life. What I consider to be strengths and weaknesses, the acknowledgement of growth, and the commitment to change, even in the face of adversity. It is the willingness to let go of perfection and embrace the journey. How I am walking out confidence is allowing myself to acknowledge all of the parts of me, whether good or bad, committing to the journey of growth, of improvement, and being confident in the journey. But when shame steps in, shame will try to get you to hold on to perfectionism. It wants to keep you in this cycle of, I'm not good enough, and always reaching for it. It wants to hold you back. It doesn't want you to have awareness. It doesn't want you to go on a healing journey. It wants you to remain stagnant. It wants you in the same place at the same time forever. And when you allow shame to control you, you hold back. So then it takes away your passion. So the things that you love to do, the things that you have been called to do, your assignments, you shy away from those things. Let me tell you, showing up for this season of the podcast has been extremely difficult. Getting here was a fight. Staying here has been a constant battle because shame continues to knock. And I am constantly reminding myself, Tamara, you are releasing shame and its hold on you because it can take hold of you. It will hold on so tight and refuse to let go. It will control you, control the way you think, control the way you speak, control the way that you behave, and it is suffocating. And then you get to that point where it takes away your voice. So first it takes away your confidence, and then it takes away your passion for things. Next is coming from your voice. It wants to shut you up. It wants you to be silent. As you know, I always end each episode with your testimony is not for yourself, it is for the world. And I believe that with every inch of my being, because your testimony is powerful. If you want to reclaim your power, then share your testimony. I recently watched a testimony on YouTube, and the person said, the more I share my testimony, the more healed I am. Powerful. Because when you share your story, you tell shame, you're a liar. You don't control me. You don't speak for me. You break yourself out of this mental and emotional prison that shame has kept you in. Because shame tries to keep you hidden. It tells you that you're unworthy. It tells you that you should be embarrassed. But every time you open your mouth to tell your story, you break a link of that chain. You start to set yourself free. Yes, your testimony is for the world, but partially it is for you because God says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the power of our testimony. Your power is in your testimony. That's how you fight back. When you are afraid of being judged, share your story. When you are afraid of losing friends, share your story. When you are afraid of discovering who you are outside of shame, because that's a thing too, finding comfort in the things that harm us and hurt us, share your story. Whenever you feel shame enter the room, remind yourself, I am releasing shame and its hold on me. This is something that I remind myself almost every day, especially in this season. And me sharing that with you breaks the bondage of shame, because I don't want to tell the world that this is something that I continue to struggle with. But the more that I say it out loud, the more I break that chain. And something that I always find very interesting is whenever I'm watching a testimony video or just maybe somebody's vlog on YouTube and they share something that could be something so minor, something that's probably so insignificant to other people, but for me, it's big, it's huge. And I connect with this person because we are going through similar things. But the difference is shame isn't keeping them silent to say, I've been struggling with this and this is what I'm doing about it. Or, yeah, I've done this in the past and I'm a new person now. For me, I'm always like, man, you are so brave to say that, and share that with the world. You are so brave, but it is a constant reminder of why I do this, why I sit here on this mic and share my story, because I am breaking that chain of shame. I am setting myself free. I am sharing my testimony because it is not for myself. It's for the world. This journey is not easy. At least for me, it has not been easy. There are moments, in real time, I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to say that. I don't want to share that. I don't want to reveal that. I am exposing myself. I am exposing my heart and my mind, but there is truly freedom in your testimony. And sometimes your testimony is the thing that is needed to set someone else free. So don't let shame hold you back. So thank you so much for tuning in for another episode. I hope you have been encouraged. If you have not already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel on YouTube. Share this out with all of your friends, your family members, anybody that you know or believe needs to hear this. We are breaking the chain of shame. As always, remember that your testimony is not for yourself, it is for the world. Until next time, peace, love, and light. Catch up on recent episodes. And if you are a bitter person, a person that is full of anger and rage and sadness, those parts of you, even if you try to keep them hidden, are eventually going to seep out and infect those other relationships in your life. HerJourney2Self Podcast is produced by 7 Sweet Studios. HerJourney2Self merch has arrived. Show your support and join the movement of purpose, passion, and healing. Get ready to journey and be empowered to share your testimony. Shop now at tamarajmorris.com.